After a last-minute closed meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin, U.S. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson held a joint press briefing with Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov. Tillerson came away from the Kremlin with a gloomy assessment of relations.
The current state of U.S.-Russia relations is at a low point. There is a low level of trust between our two countries. The world's two foremost nuclear powers cannot have this kind of relationship.
In an interview with Russia's Mir TV, Putin agreed, saying relations with the U.S. have become worse since President Donald Trump took office.
It is possible to say that the level of trust on a working level, especially on the military level, has not improved, but rather has deteriorated.
Tensions spiked over allegations Syria last week used deadly chemical weapons on civilians, and the U.S. responded with airstrikes on a Syrian airbase. Lavrov called the U.S. airstrikes illegal and described U.S. behavior as unpredictable. But there was agreement to investigate the chemical weapons attack in Syria. Russia blamed Syrian rebels for the poison gas release that killed more than 80 people, and it vetoed a UN Security Council resolution condemning Damascus.
We saw the readiness of our U.S. colleagues to support such an investigation, and we count on the United Nations and the OPCW immediately putting to use the powers they have.
Tillerson said the reign of Syrian President Bashar al-Assad's family is coming to an end, and he urged Moscow to withdraw its support for Assad, a move analysts say is unlikely.
It's about the diminishing of Russian prestige and influence, so they won't accept it unless they have very important reasons to do so.
Russia says it will reinstate a Syrian air safety agreement it suspended with the U.S. over its airstrikes, but only if Washington promises not to target Assad's forces, which Moscow claims are only targeting terrorists. Analysts say the lack of coordination in the crowded Syrian skies raises the risk of a bigger conflict.
But what's important now is to avoid all kind of direct military confrontation, and God forbid really any military collisions between the Russian airspace forces and the United States in Syria.
The bigger question remains, given recent incidents, is there any potential for better relations between the two superpowers? Daniel Schearf, VOA News, Moscow.